your background is as a HR director, and maybe that'd be something if you can speak on what have you learned during your time as an HR director that you're able to pass on to these potential clients.
Oh, 100%. I make YouTube videos. And the reason I started making YouTube videos back in 2018 was I felt like the HR function is a bit mysterious and secretive. And I saw that to the detriment of people who were, very like in trouble and they needed help and they needed to apply to positions and they weren't always hearing back. And I'm not saying I understand HR very well in every country, in every company, but at a certain baseline, there is a lot of universal truth out there. And there's so many things when it comes to, good Lord, recruitment, interviews, resumes, salary negotiation, which is the big one. And I know we'll be talking about that today. And working so closely with senior leadership, right? Every different scenario has like different learnings. And that's what I actually share.
So
I break these up into topics and I share these on videos.
Yeah, you basically seen it all, and you're able to identify with your clients where they are in that spectrum, and then you're able to help them.
Yeah, exactly. And one of the things about being a coach is sometimes, telling, clients specific things they don't want to hear, but they need to hear.
The job search landscape has changed. Whether for the better or for the worse, I mean, that's very subjective, but it has changed. And there's a lot of people who are looking to find a job or they're looking to switch from their current jobs. And there's a lot of information out there that's pretty much standard, right? If you search, you're going to find a lot of times the same things. Are there any new information for these candidates that they need to know that is not easily discoverable on an online search?
I can think of three things. People say things are very competitive. I think they've always been competitive. So I don't think that's changed. However, companies are complaining a lot. And I don't know, maybe you see this, Rishabh. Companies are complaining a lot about the war for talent, even before COVID, right? And they're not able to find good people. On one hand, you have a surplus of labor crying, hire me. And then you have these companies saying, So there's obviously something going wrong there, right? So unfortunately, the world we live in today it's not always the most competent person that gets the job. It's just not. In the past, I think one thing that's changed is that you could get away with a very mediocre resume, non-existent LinkedIn profile, and substandard, substandard answers to certain interview questions if you had specific skills and they needed those skills. Now, with the democratization of skills, knowledge, you can get all of this stuff on LinkedIn Learning or Udemy or all of that stuff. You have the skilled population. So one of the things that LinkedIn talks about, and many other research, a lot of research out there talks about, is EQ, emotional intelligence, emotional quotient. I keep saying EQ is the new black. So the world is waking up to the fact that just because someone is good at what they do does not mean they have good people skills, and does not mean they're going to be promoted to a leader. It has happened for so many decades. I'm a great researcher. I work in a lab. I get great results. Now suddenly I have a team of 10 people. That's what's been happening before, right? So what does that mean for the job seeker? Companies are waking up to the fact that interpersonal skills are a lot more important today. So I think the second thing is, do not underestimate the likability factor. Now more than ever, with AI and ML in front of us, one of the things that AI cannot do is care, have empathy, have respect.
Correct.
And the third is, and people hear this a lot, and that's personal brand. People are like, yeah, I know personal brand. I'm like, okay, You know what it is. Yeah, it's what people say about me. It's my reputation. Yeah, okay. My follow-up question. What are you doing about it? Pin drop silence. So uh, controlling the narrative of what people say about you, people are, I don't know, they're so happy to fold their hands and take a step back. So show up. What do you talk about? What do you say? Create content. Don't just keep consuming, because the data is very clear, right? 99.7% of users of LinkedIn are consuming, lurking. And it's only the remaining that actually creates something. And the rest of them are watching. Why? Because you're like giving away your power by doing that. So I think those are the three things that one can definitely spend. I don't want to say, your LinkedIn profile, your resume, your interviewing, all of that stuff is universal. And I don't think that's changed. But it does matter now a little bit more about your interpersonal skills, your likability factor, your personal brand.
What you talked about, likability, that one is so relevant. What we're seeing today, even when you talk about just in general social media, right? Let's take the professional element out of it, of job search and LinkedIn, and we can talk about Instagram and TikTok and any of these things. It's the authenticity that people are bringing to the table, even just for entertainment value.